Sensei sacrificed his pay night so that every worker that he got paid. You know, and after that he probably talked to them and let them know, but he would not let you leave or let nobody that he brought leave without getting paid. He made sure the money was there, and he made sure even if he had to give it to you out of his pocket, and he gave it to me out of his pocket and told me, don't worry about it, I'll handle it. But the promoters, they play the funny games,
You had to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
1996 in Brooklyn, I took a promoter's car. I just took it from him.
Yeah.
He contacted me. You're gonna laugh. You're even gonna think it didn't happen, but it did. It was one of those.
Yeah, I believe it.
It was one of those like girl Jeeps from back, Isuzus or something.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, Isuzu, yeah.
Right. It was like a pink color or something. I drove this back home where I'm in Brooklyn. I drove to the other side. He contacts me the next day. I swear to you. He contacts me the next day. And he says, look, he beeps me. I call him up. What's up? He's like, I got your money. I sent a friend of mine, go get the money. When I got the money, I told him he can pick up his car on Flatbush and Parkside. There's a bus stop there. I left it in the bus stop running with the key in it. That's exactly where I left it. The guy was dishing. I'm not paying security, all this other. I was okay. Well, we got our money. Here, come get your car.
Yeah.
And I left it there running. I never heard another word. I don't know that he did or didn't get it, but I left it there running.
Yeah, you did him right because he didn't do you right.
What's he gonna do? Fight me? All right, best of luck.
Wow,
true.
Some stories.
I have a question because I wanted to bring this up last week. I wanted to go over the pay back in the day between the pay now. So I remember Dad telling me I could make $1,200 in a night. I can make $2 grand, $3 grand, $4 grand in a night working the door.
Not from the club owner.
Oh yeah, from the door. Yeah.
Not from the club owner.
Not from the club owners, but we were able to make our money many ways like that especially when you were head of security. You were able to do that back in the day, and remember, people would tip you $100 just to get them up on the line.
Yeah.
You have 500 people on the line, you get 10 people that want to get to the front of the line, and they'll give you $50 each, or you get an occasional drug dealer give you $200-$300. You paid for the night.
Le Poulet and Cobra was one of the biggest areas that I made side money, and I didn't kill him, but the most I ever made in one night was at Le Poulet. I made around $1,800. But that's because I broke off the manager. I gave him a couple of $100 because they're the ones that look through the camera and they watch. Mm-hmm. I gave the front door guys a couple of $100, and I left with maybe $1,100.
You got to know who to take care of because your boys are taking care of you, Jake.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep. So that's definitely true. And if you got VIP section, you can definitely make some good money. But there's always haters, and there was haters back then that talk. That's why it's good to go to the top of the chain. Yeah. Speak to the manager, and you say, "Listen, this is between me and you." He'll put you in the right spot, checking IDs. In the front of the ropes. Also, VIP stage.
Let me tell you something. You can have people, and I've had it done numerous times, just walk over to me and say, brother, do me a favor, man. I'm here by myself. You'll watch my back. If anything happened, I said, sure. And they'll hand me $800-$900. And especially a lot of drug dealers that had contracts on them or they're paranoid because of all the dirty deeds they've done. They'll walk over to you, man, and say, listen, just look out for me and my lady for the night. Here's $1 grand. Am I right or wrong, guys?
That's great. You're right.
And come on, man.
You're right, for sure.
And then you get then on top of that, then you get guys that have 4 or 5 guys with them, and no club's going to let them in because they don't want a bunch of guys in, and they want more women in. And he'll say, listen, I'll give you $100 per guy if you just let me in the door with my guys. Then you got that. And then I'm spilling all the beans.
All right.
But there were so many ways to make a couple of grand. It's unbelievable. So the answer to my son's question, Jacob, it was so many ways you can make money. And especially the bigger the club, the more money you make.
See, it's harder now. That's why it doesn't matter if you spill the beans because you're actually educating the history of bouncing. Because nowadays, if you got a tough promoter or you got a promoter that brings in business, that comes first. So
Yeah,
they're gonna cut
there's a way,
whoever's
right?
trying to
There's a
make
way to
extra
do it.
money. Anybody that's trying to make extra money, they'll catch and fire them, or it won't happen.
Right.
It's hard to collect money. You have to really be close with manager or close with the promoter because you're not gonna make money. Not like you used to back then.
And they were talking about drug dealers or individual or crews. When the crews would come, you stop the door. You stop the door. You go over. You find out who he is, and they were normally regulars by this time. They knew the drill. How many do you have with you? They have a number ready. If I got 32 guys with me, all right. Now the door. Let's say the door was $20 or even $30. You tell them everybody has to pay $50, but he's paying for it. He's their boss, so he's pulling $50 times 32 guys. So you tell him and his top 2 or 3 guys are in for free. Oh, I'm in for free, but he's got to pay $50 for the rest of them. But the club just made an extra, $20, $30 per person. We let them all in, and you don't even have to tell them. You don't have to say, "Look, you got to buy bottles." That's why they're there. They're there because they're going to buy bottles. Number one, and number two, you even tell them, say, "Listen, if your boys are messing around, you're finished. You can't come to my club or any of my boys' clubs until you straighten me out or straighten this out." So I would tell them, "Look, you come here, you're safe. The only thing that could ever happen to you is you can get sucker punched and your boys would back you up because nobody's getting in here with a knife or a gun or a shank or a razor because we're searching that way." So you got a place to come in, meet your women, buy your bottles, have a good time, let your boys feel your power, whatever it is you're doing, and then go home safely because we're your bodyguards for the night just by searching properly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
I remember one particular night I was working on 38th Street and 10th Avenue. I'll never forget. This was the best night I think I probably
SOs?
had. Say it again?
SOs, 38?
No, below.
No,
It was called Below. It was on a 38. I was trying to remind you of it the other day. It was 38th Street and 10th Avenue. Make a short story shorter. I'm working there. It was exactly 3:35. So at 3:30 we stopped letting people in